Every week, millions of people open apps like Discord, Snapchat, Instagram, and dozens more. Most people use them without ever experiencing something disturbing, but hidden behind private messages, disappearing chats, and other features that most users may not see, predators and other bad actors are exploiting the most vulnerable. So today, I'm doing something that I've never done before. I'm putting some of the internet's biggest chat apps and platforms on trial. This won't be based on popularity, reviews, or whether I personally like them. Instead, I'm scoring every platform against the exact same criteria. Things like how easy it is for strangers to make contact, how anonymous you can be, and how strong moderation is. By the end of this video, every app will earn a final score and be placed into one of 4 risk levels. Some of the results weren't surprising, but others may shock you. The first app we're going to be looking at is Discord. Originally created as an easy way for gamers to communicate, it has become one of the biggest chat apps in the world. Millions of people use it every day, but beneath the surface are private servers where anything could be going on. The platform has faced criticism over how easy it is for predators to use their features to target younger people. So let's see how Discord actually performs on our safety test. Okay, so Discord, we all know what it is. I'm pretty sure I can say that. And quickly, a quick plug if you like the channel and don't know, I have a Discord server, so join it. So as I mentioned, we have some criteria to score each app against, so let me tell you a bit about what they are. So the first thing on our list is stranger contact, and we can give an app either 0, 1, or 2 points for each category. So if the app has no stranger messaging, that means it gets 0 points. If it has a limited or opt-in stranger contact, that is 1 point. And if it's easy to make contact with pretty much anyone, then that's 2 points. Now, I won't bore you by going through the criteria point by point right now, we'll just kind of do it as we go through Discord. But yeah, that's pretty much how it works, and I'll explain the risk scale once we're putting each app on the list. So for apps that I already have, I'm not going to make new accounts for it. And by the way, I know some of you may be wondering, I live in the UK, the Online Safety Act is a thing, so surely for the age verification category, that will get, 0 points every time because every app has strong verification now, but no, because I have VPN myself to America for this video. So let's launch up Discord from my homepage. You see here it opens to your message tab. Now in terms of how easy it is to actually find strangers, it depends. If I go to an app like Discord, for example, Discord is a website where you can find Discord servers that you want to be in, and all of these are public. So I could join any from this one. Let's just do SFW, for example. We're going to join this random server called Fairy Tale Galaxy. All you need to do is quickly verify you're human. You may even be able to skip that if you're not on a VPN like me, and it takes you to the Discord, and there we go. I can accept the invite to this server, and yeah, I can access it. And even if I go into a random server I'm in, for example, so I am in a server for LGBT Valorant players. Don't judge me. If I go onto a channel, so let's just go into general, for example, click on that, and there we go. I have so many members, all the members in the server that I can freely add. And of course, some people may have settings set up to make it so you can't add them, but like, I guarantee I could just click on someone's profile here, send them a friend. Like, I'll take this person, for example. All I need to do is click add friend, and there we go. I'm their friend, if they accept me. So I feel like on the 0, 1, 2, we kind of have to give it 2 points because anyone can easily contact anyone. So let's move on to the next app, which is anonymous accounts. So if I go into my personal server, I have an account here called Jessicur YT, which is my account that I'm going to be doing interviews on from now on. Now, I made this account literally just yesterday, and I didn't need to verify a phone number. I put in an email, and I'm pretty sure it didn't even ask me to verify. I just did it, and realistically, I could have made the name of this absolutely anything. So I'd say that it is easy to create disposable accounts on Discord. Even in videos I've made in the past where we've looked at stuff like Gunner Discord servers, it's clear that no one in there is using their main, so I feel like it's only right to give it 2 points, because the criteria for anonymous account goes 0, identity tied to account, 1, some anonymity, or 2 points, easy to create disposable accounts. It's only right to give it 2 points. So the next category is random matching, and we can give 0 points if the platform has none. We can give give 1 if it is limited, and 2 points if it's a core feature. Now, Discord, I wouldn't really say as random matching. You could argue that, you know, servers on Discord meant to like make friends are technically random matching, but it's not integrated into the app. So I am going to give this 0 points for this category because I feel like it would be disingenuous to give it 1 or 2. The next category is moderation. Now we can give it 0 points if it is strong proactive moderation, 1 if it is mixed effectiveness, and 2 for weak and inconsistent moderation. Now I only think it's fair to give it probably 1 for this because Discord can really be hit or miss. They do take down a lot of bad servers quite quickly, but like I say, it can very much vary. Sometimes they just won't, and that's a big problem. And sometimes you can report someone doing something horrendous and they will not ban you, but if you make a joke saying you're younger than you actually are in a server of your friends, that could get your account nuked. So I feel like we gotta give it 1 because it's very mixed effectiveness. The next category is actually for reporting tools, so we can give it 0 if it's easy to use and effective, 1 if it's available but limited, and 2 if it's difficult to use, not present, or rarely effective. So I'm just gonna go into a random server. I'm just gonna go into the Jessicur server. I'm so sorry. I'm just going to pick someone out random here, and I'm not actually going to report their message, but I'm going to show it as an example. I'll just report this one from Jask, one of my mods, that says LMAO. Jask, I'm so sorry, I'm not actually reporting you. So as you can see, the report button is quite obvious here. If we click on it, it brings you up to a screen where it tells you the message you've selected and gives you a bunch of options. Now, if we click into one of these categories, so let's just do harmful misinformation or glorifying violence, there are other types of things that you can type in here, and then if you click on one, it will give you a summary before you actually submit your report. So I'd say in terms of the reporting tools, they are actually there for Discord, so I feel like it's only right to give it a 0 because they are easy to use, and although it is hit and miss, we can kind of just give it 0 over the easy to use. So the next category is for NSFW content. We can give it 0 if the content is limited, 1 point if it's present but restricted, and 2 points if it's easy to find or widespread. Now, I think we already know what I'm giving this, but just to show you how easy it is to find NSFW content on Discord, I'm going to go back to Discord. So I'm just going to enter a random search term. So let's just search up Gunner. And there's a little toggle on Discord, so if I switch that on, yep, here we go. So I'm mainly going to focus on the smaller servers because admittedly the big ones usually do have some form of age verification. Sometimes it can literally be as easy as just clicking a button and you're in though, so I wouldn't call it effective. But here we go, we've got one here which is Ring Light Rituals. It says, savor the forbidden, exclusive content at your fingertips, roleplays, sexting and more away, unleash your kinks with us. Now I'm not going to join it. I'm just not, but I can guarantee that at least one of these servers definitely does not have any sort of age verification. In fact, some actually like push it as a pushing factor for their server, the fact they don't have verification. So if that's the case, it's only right to give it 2 points because this content is easy to find. As you see, it literally took 1 search, 1 button toggle, and that was me in. So sorry Discord, but for NSFW content, I'm giving you 2 points. So the next category is disappearing messages. The point system works like this. So 0 points for no, 1 point if it's optional, and 2 points if it's enabled by default or a major feature. Now, it's weird because Discord doesn't have disappearing messages, but you can easily delete any of your own messages. So does that technically fall under disappearing? For example, I'm just gonna go and I sent myself an invite to my Discord server recently. I'm just gonna go in, I'm gonna scroll down, delete message, and there we go. It's gone. You cannot get that back. If you're in a server and you delete a message, the mods might have access to what's called an audit log, so they might be able to see the content of the message you did delete. But I'd say that I have to give it a point, to be honest, because I would say that being able to delete your messages for everyone is very much optional disappearing messages. So yeah, they're getting a point in that category. So the next category is age verification, and this is worldwide age verification, not UK or any other place with age verification laws. So the point share goes like this: 0 points for strong verification, 1 point for a basic age gate, and 2 points for little verification. Now I would say that Discord very much has little auto verification, because in most places you can just create an account without verifying your age and have access to whatever server you want. I wouldn't consider it more verification if individual servers choose to verify, because that isn't a platform forcing them to do that, that's them doing it off their own accord. So for age verification, I'd give it 2 points. So the next one is location sharing. The point share is 0 points for none, 1 for optional, and 2 for easy to reveal or shared by default. Now, as far as I'm aware, you can't share your location on Discord unless you type it out, and I wouldn't give a point for that, so I'm gonna give Discord 0 points for location sharing. So the final category is parental options. You get 0 points if they're easy to use with lots of options, 1 point for some tools available, and 2 for very few tools or none at all. So let's have a look and see what Discord has to offer. If I go into my account settings, so they have a section here called Family Center, and it explains why. So if you're in the family center with your teenager, for example, you can see who your teen is talking to while still respecting their privacy. You and your teen see the exact same information, so you're on the same page. And setup's easy, you only have to scan a QR code. New friends that your teen adds or accepts is also something that guardians or parents are able to see. You can also see stuff like the servers they've joined, who they've messaged, their time spent in voice and video, if they've purchased anyone, or reports. You can also manage their account settings, and to keep a layer of privacy, you can't see what they write in the messages, which is probably a good thing. And yeah, all it takes is scanning a QR code. You can see here I can scan, and so yeah. So I would say that that's actually very effective. You know, it's easy to use, there seems to be a lot of options there, so I'd give Discord 0 points in this category. Well done, Discord. So if we add up all the points we gave Discord, that gives us 10 points out of a possible 20. That's basically middle of the road. You know, obviously Discord had a lot of problems, but looking at only the safety features and not controversies or stuff that goes on in certain servers, it is very much middle of the road. They have some good things and they have some bad things. So now what we're doing after this is placing each app into a risk scale. So I've made a risk scale up. It has 4 categories, and this is how it goes. For 0 to 5 points, I would consider the app low risk. For 6 to 10, I would consider it moderate risk. 11 to 15 is high risk, and 16 to 20 is extreme risk. So with that being said, Discord is 1 point away from slipping into high risk, which means it gets categorized in the moderate risk category. Next is Telegram. On the surface, Telegram looks like a normal messaging app, but its focus is on privacy. Through encrypted conversations, it's popular with people who are partaking in activities that they don't want to be made public. Sometimes illegal stuff, but there's an argument to be made that it doesn't just protect the average person, but makes it the perfect place for bad actors to hide. The next up we're going to be taking a look at is good old Telegram. I've actually already made a video about some of the bad stuff that goes on in this platform, so if you are interested, make sure to check that out. Obviously, in that video I go much deeper into Telegram than I am in this section, so yeah. And also, we're going to start speeding up for the apps now, just because I'm not going to explain every point I give again. If you need a reminder, I will include the criteria on screen for every point I make though. Okay, I'm going to download Telegram. Here we go. I do not recommend you do this. Telegram is not a great app. Okay, so obviously I'm starting fresh here, so let's see. I did make an account for my video on iPolina, so I don't actually know if I deleted that. Okay, I have verified. Oh, no I haven't apparently. Okay. There we go. Okay, immediately it asks if it can have your contacts. For the sake of this video, yeah, I'll let it. It's not sending me notifications. I would not like to use Telegram with Siri. Okay, so the first criteria is stranger contact. So, can you easily get in touch with strangers? Honestly, it doesn't seem like it from the off, but there's a section that we got to look at. So there's a website called TG Stat, and on this website, you can access any server you want, basically. So let's just have a look, and let's see. We'll just go for the Russian, because that has the most channels. So there are a lot of channels here, and I'm just gonna pick a random one to join. Now, these are just some of the biggest ones out there, so let's click on one and see. So this is one for a decentralized VPN and file storage. As you can see, I don't even need to join the channel to actually see who's typing in here. And if I click on one of their profiles, for example, it does give me the option to message them, call them, video call them even. So I'd say that this falls under the anyone can easily contact anyone. That's 2 points for Telegram. Now, as for anonymous accounts, you do need to put in a phone number, but it is quite easy to get burner phone numbers. So I would again give it 2 points because it is easy to create disposable accounts and you don't actually need to give any information about yourself on your profile. As for random matching, again, it's 0 because it's not a feature. Moderation is an interesting category, and I touched a lot on this in my actual video on the platform, but it basically doesn't exist. You know, Telegram is quite well known as an app that predators like to use to, you know, share their illegal content with other preds. And when that's a possibility, I don't really think you can give it anything other than 1 or 2. And this app certainly doesn't have mixed effectiveness moderation. It is weak and it's inconsistent. Nothing gets done. And let's see how easy it is to actually report a message. Okay, so there is a report button here. And as you can see, you do have a lot of options. So let's just select child abuse. You can select CSA or physical abuse. And then you can also add a comment. So it is there, but it's notoriously weak. So I feel like for moderation, we've got to give Telegram 2 points. As for the reporting tools, believe it or not, I would probably give Telegram 0 points because the reporting tools do exist. They are there and there is a lot of options. You can even type your own comments, so I think it would be disingenuous to give it anything else other than 0. As for disappearing messages, I am pretty sure you can have disappearing messages on. Yeah, there is a section to auto delete messages. You can choose after a day, after a week, or after a month, or a custom time. So yeah, we gotta give it 2 points because I would consider it on Telegram to be a major feature. Okay, next we're looking at NSFW content, and hey, I think we gotta give it 2 points. Look, NSFW content is not easy to find on Telegram. Even like people even use it just for regular NSFW content that they could get from normal, regular websites. And of course, they have the dark side where you can easily find CSAM on the platform. So yeah, 2 points for the NSFW. Age verification, you saw exactly how easy it was for me to make an account. I literally just did it in like a few seconds. So 2 points for that. Now, location sharing, I'm pretty sure is a feature on Telegram. I'm just gonna like start a chat with someone I actually know in case I accidentally send my location. I'm not gonna allow it access to my photo library or my camera. And yeah, you can see there as soon as I clicked add a file, the location button's right there and I can share my location. Okay, that's getting blurred because the Apple pop-up has just doxed me. But yeah, you can see there we go. I can access my if I let it access my location, I can share either places or my live location. So it's not enabled by default, but it is easy to reveal. But for the sake of this video, I'll give it 1 point because technically it's optional. You don't need to do it. And parental options. Now, this is an interesting one because I'm actually not sure. I doubt it, but let's see. Yeah, I mean, this app isn't intended to be used by kids, let's be real, so there isn't really any parental options. It's only really options that you can set up on your own, like 2-step verification. I wouldn't consider any of these parental, so I'm going to give it 2 points because there's none at all, really. So on the risk scale, that gives us 15 out of 20. That's one away from being in the top category, the extreme category, but to be honest, because of the stuff that goes on there and the fact it's quite regularly happening, I have to bump it up. I'm bumping it up. I'm giving it a +1. 16 points out of 20. That moves it into the extreme category. Telegram is definitely in there, I'd say. Snapchat is one of the most popular social apps for young people, and it has become famous for its disappearing messages. But that same feature has also raised a lot of questions. When messages vanish, it becomes difficult to keep track of harmful behavior, and it seems like a great place for those who don't want people to see what they're up to. We've got good old Snapchat next, and this is an app that I have. So let's see. Hi, by the way, there's 2 of me on the screen right now. Okay, so I'm gonna blur all my chats, obviously. But as for stranger contact, Yeah, there is definitely stranger contact. I mean, all I need to do is go into the add friends category, and I have a bunch of people, some people who I don't even have a clue who they are, with no mutual friends, so genuinely just random people. So I'd give it a 2, because anyone can easily contact anyone. As for anonymous accounts, yes, it's very easy to create anonymous accounts. Again, this is an app that is used often by predators, and they can easily make throwaways, so 2 points on that. Random matching isn't really a feature in Snapchat, so I'm giving it 0. As for moderation, this is a very interesting one, because I don't think I've ever reported something on Snapchat, so I'm just gonna report my friend, for example. Let's go into this. Okay, so we can... actually, I'm not... Manage friendship. Okay, if you go into the manage friendship, you get the report button, but that was actually quite difficult to find. So let's report this person. There's only 2 options. They're posting inappropriate content or they're a spammer. So if we report for spamming, they sent me spammy or suspicious stats, they sent me spammy friend requests, or creepy or annoying. That's fucking crazy. And inappropriate, this is where you have a bunch of options. So I'm just gonna report him for hate speech or symbols. And again, you can put stuff in here, like you can type additional things. And you also have the option to send the last 30 chats between you and that person to Snapchat so they can properly investigate. Now, in terms of if moderation is actually effective, Snapchat has approximately 950 million monthly users. I'm not gonna lie, it's difficult to get a properly active poll, so I'm not entirely sure if that's accurate. But we'll go, let's say 400 million on the low end, right? So if we go 400 million on the low end, apparently Snapchat ban 8 to 9 million people every year. Or that's not people they ban, sorry, that's people they take action against, and that's all unique accounts. And it is possible for Snapchat to give out full device bans so you can never access the app again. So with that in mind, I'd have to say that, to be honest, it has mixed effectiveness, simply because that seems like a lot of users and that doesn't seem like a lot of people get action taken against them. Obviously it's still in the millions, but I imagine that many more people are actually being genuinely reported than the amount they take action against. So yeah, I'll give it mixed. The reporting tools, to be honest, they seem easy to use. I mean, like, we have a lot of options here, so yeah, I'd give it 0 points. As for NSFW content, now obviously, as we all know, a lot of NSFW content between 2 people does happen on Snapchat, but I wouldn't say it's widespread, because there's not open groups out there. Yes, it is quite common for people to make group chats with content and very much disturbing and illegal content in it, but it's not really open. And look, you can make an argument. Always on my like recommended stories tab, I always have like OnlyFans girls like Sophie Rain and stuff like that, but I wouldn't consider just selfies of them in SFW just because of what they do. I think that's very rude, to be honest. So yeah, I'm gonna put the content as present but restricted, because it is present. We all know NSFW content's present on Snapchat, so I'll give it a point. Now, disappearing messages. Yes, because look, I'm gonna message my friend. I'm gonna say, look at this message, then swipe off, please. Now, I actually think we have chats set up where our messages stay, so let me change the settings quickly. So you chat and notification settings, delete chats after viewing. So there we go. You have a bunch of options. So as you can see, I changed chats to be deleted immediately. So now let me hope that my friend's active. So if I swipe off that, it will remain until he looks at it. Okay. If he wants to be active, I'm going to harass him in his Discord DMs as well. Oh, there we go. Okay, he's finally opened it. So let me wait. Okay, swiped off. And as you can see, the chat's completely gone. The only thing that's there is him saving a snap and chat from months ago. So yeah, disappearing messages are a core feature of Snapchat, and as you can see, he sent me a little a Bitmoji thing back, so I'm looking at that right now. I swipe off, and boom, it's gone. I cannot see it. That what is the main feature of Snapchat. You know, that's what people know Snapchat as, but you can now change the chats to delete, like, for example, 24 hours after viewing, so I'll change that back. And now, if I was to send him a chat and he looked at it, the chat would stay for a day. But we can't give it anything less than 2 because it is a major feature. It's kind of the selling point of Snapchat. So 2 points for disappearing messages. As for age verification, I have never been asked to give my ID to Snapchat. even though I live in the UK. So I am going to give it 2 points because there's little verification on it. As for location sharing, again, it's a very big thing on Snapchat. So obviously I'm not going to show any of my friends' locations, but I think I have someone who isn't sharing their location with me. Okay, I'm going to go on to someone who I know for a fact isn't sharing their location. And as you can see, it kind of gives you like the option to request their location, and it gives you the snap map option. And if that person was sharing their location with me, that would just be there for me to like openly view. And obviously I'm not going to show their location again, but for people who do have their location, I don't even need to go into snap maps to view it. They have a little location icon and then their exact town that they're in right now. So yeah, I'd say that it's very easy to reveal. It isn't shared by default, but it's very easy to reveal your location. So that's 2 points. Now let's take a look at the parental options. Obviously, you have the option to block users. That's more of a safety option. You can choose who sees your location, who views your story, who can see you in the find friends. So I guess that there are options there if you are a parent. They have got a family center actually. Sorry, I missed that. Okay. So in the family center, you can view their friends, see who they're chatting with, restrict sensitive content, disable chatbots, view their privacy settings, and report abuse. And then it gives you the options to select any teen you have under 18. Okay, so I would say that in that case, yeah, it does seem easy to use. 0 points for that because, yeah, they are available. So that means Snapchat has a total of 12 points, which places it in the high risk category. And I'd say that's a fair assessment. It's very easy for bad actors to get up to some disturbing things on Snapchat, and yeah, there aren't really options to get rid of them necessarily. It's so easy for strangers to get in contact with you. With disappearing messages, that takes things up a whole new level. So yeah, Snapchat is high risk. Instagram has become one of the biggest social platforms on the planet, but with billions of users comes a dark side. Public profiles and recommendations tailored to you can create opportunities for unwanted contact. So now it's time to test whether their safety tools are up to par. Okay, so Instagram. This is going to be very interesting because this is an app I use a lot. Give me a follow on there, by the way. My @ is Jessicur. This is my profile on screen right now. You should totally follow me. And this is the Celtic lineup for today. Okay, fantastic. Callum Osmond starting. Very happy about that. Okay, so as for stranger messaging, it's complicated. I could pick anyone I wanted, even the official Cyberpunk account, for example, and I could go to message and type them, "Hi guys, I love your game," and it would send. Well, it would if I didn't have bad internet. Okay, there we go. But as you can see, with an account like Cyberpunk, it pops up saying, "This account can't receive your message because they don't allow new message requests from everyone." So that means they've changed their settings so not everyone can message them. That is something that any user can do. Now, if a user were to message someone who didn't have this set up or had open DMs, it would get sent to their message request. You see, I have mine here. Obviously, I'm going to be blurring who is in there for me. But yeah, this is everyone who's in my message request. And as you can see, I'll just click on one, for example. I have the option, okay, that's someone I blocked because they're a weirdo, so that doesn't count. Okay, this person just reacted to my story, so you see I have the option to accept, delete, or block. And it's only then that they are then able to send me more messages. After that, it's basically free game, you know, I can just message any of my friends who I want, for example. So I'm going to say, "Oh, you," to my friend who I also messaged on Snapchat. So yeah, I would say that it's kind of limited or opt-in because without setting up your settings, anyone can message you. So Instagram gets a point for stranger contact. In terms of anonymous accounts, yeah, it's very easy to make an anonymous Instagram account. I have a lot of people following me who don't have like their face or anything as their profile picture. I personally have no way of knowing who they are. Obviously that's fine for me, but you know, you can see how that can be used in certain bad situations. So I'd say that it is easy to create disposable accounts. As for random matching, unless you consider recommendations, which I don't, there isn't really any of that on Insta, so 0. For moderation, now, Instagram moderation is bad. I'll just say it how it is. Like in the case with Connor Ferguson, who I covered in my Euro Bromberg video, he's being harassed and stalked, and his account has been taken down so many times for false reports. Some of my stories have been taken down for false reports. You know, it's so easy to get stuff taken down on Instagram, but it feels like when someone's actually being racist, threatening violence, that'll stay up for as long as it pleases, you know? So I would say that the moderation gets 2 points because it's very weak and inconsistent. As for the reporting tools themselves, let's take a look. So again, I'm just going to report a message that someone sent me. So here we go. The report button is immediately there as you highlight it, and you have a lot of things to report on. So let's just say hate speech or symbols. And now there is a problem here because unlike other platforms that we've covered in this video, you can't actually type anything to give additional information, and I would consider that a problem. I'd love to give Instagram reporting tools 0 because I want them to be good, but they're not. They just aren't. So even though they are available, they are certainly limited. So 1 point. NSFW content. Now, I actually am not entirely sure because I haven't actually covered Instagram in a video. NSFW content does get removed on Instagram. However, again, with the inconsistent moderation, you can never be sure. So let's genuinely just search up NSFW. Okay, they've actually banned the tag NSFW, which is good. What's another term that may be NSFW? What if I search up Gunner? Okay, that gives me a lot. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Yeah, I was so close to giving Instagram 0, but then we found this. So I'm just gonna go to the first result. This is a person called GunnerGram11. Okay, so I'm gonna blur it. Technically, it's normal photos of women, but in context, it's bad. They use the tags like hashtag Gyat, hashtag Snowbunny, and also tags like hashtag Goon, hashtag Goonfuel. Let's click on that. Okay, they've banned Goonfuel. Have they banned Goon? Okay, how are we gonna ban Goonfuel but not Goon? It's literally part of the word. And again, this is a problem with sites like Twitter as well, but like once you find an account, you've found a rabbit hole. All we need to do is go into this person's following and boom, like there's a lot of accounts. Even if we go into their followers, I guarantee we can find even more. And here's another point, proving my point about anonymous accounts. This account is called Stop Looking, Go Away. It's like fully anonymous, you know, private, no profile picture. Yeah. And again, they're literally making group chats on this platform as well. We've got this person here, 20, Slutty DJ and Gunner. DMs are always open, looking for Goon buds, add me to group chats. So yeah, and these accounts are private. God knows what they're doing. This account in particular, thankfully, has 0 posts. So this is another account called Central. This one is so getting blurred, but I mean, like, this is a woman. This is just a woman with her like whole ass coochie out. Again, ones with just people shaking ass on camera. This account's already been suspended, but they've been able to come back. So kind of says it all, doesn't it? So although I was initially gonna give NSFW content very limited, it's very clear that it's not. That was so easy to find. So 2 points. As for disappearing messages, now Instagram does have that now, and it's really fucking annoying. If I go into my friends chat again, when I scroll up too much, it will turn on disappearing messages. Now that's annoying. And it actually says when you're like mirroring your screen or something. So yeah, and then I can turn them off again, and yeah. So disappearing messages is now a thing, and I wouldn't call it a major feature because not a lot of people use it, at least not a lot of people that I know. So yeah, I'm gonna give it 1 point because it is optional. As for age verification, there's no verification, basically. I do not think I've verified my ID on Instagram and I was able to access all that stuff I just showed you. So I'd give it 2. Location sharing is actually a new thing. So obviously I'm not sharing my location, but we will go on to the map. Now there's a bunch of settings and you can share it with a bunch of people. You can choose to not share. You can choose to share with only these friends, with your close friends and your people that you follow back. So yeah, it's totally up to you whether you want to do that. So I would still consider location sharing optional on Instagram. Parental options is another interesting one because it's not really something I've looked at much on Instagram. So obviously you can change all your restrictions. You can restrict who can tag you, who can comment on your stuff, who can share your stuff. And you also have supervision for teen accounts. Teen age 13-17 automatically get teen accounts with built-in protections. On Instagram, teens see content that's generally aligned with content ratings for ages 13+. You can also set time limits. So yeah, I would say that it does exist. There are quite a lot of options for Instagram, so I would give it 0. So that gives Instagram 12 out of 20 on the risk scale, and again, I'd say that's pretty accurate. There are a lot of bad things going on Instagram, and you can be easily harassed on there, but If you use it with the features involved, it can be a much safer app for you. Few platforms have a worse reputation than X, formerly known as Twitter. For years, it has been a place of free expression and the latest news, but it also has a lot of controversy surrounding its moderation, the harmful content on the platform itself, and how easy it is for disturbing material to spread. So where does it fall on our chart? Next up, we're moving on to X, and wow, where do I start? On the chart, of course. So, of course, stranger contact. Let's have a little look. Let's launch up X and see what we've got going on. So there are a lot of settings you can set up. Let me go into my privacy and safety chat. You can choose who you allow message requests from, but of course, anyone can still tag you. So yeah, I could literally be tagged in anything by anyone, scammers, bad actors, anyone. So with that, I'd say that you can easily contact anyone. It's very easy to keep replying to people's posts until they reply to you back. So yeah, 2 points. As for anonymous accounts, I don't think I need to be the one to tell you this. It's easy, so easy to make an anonymous account on X. I mean, look, this is the accounts I have, right? I've got my backup, my private, my main account, and then also one for the website I run called SportSource. Now, SportSource has no information about me apart from the website, which does then contain my contact. I wouldn't have to link that out to anything if I didn't want to, and I could easily change the username, the profile picture, the name on any of my accounts and stay completely anonymous. And obviously, with gunners and taking over the platform, basically, it's so easy to stay anonymous. None of those people, they don't want you to know who they are. So I'd give it 2 points. It's very easy to create disposable accounts. As for random matching, again, it's not really a feature, so I'd give it none. The moderation, wow, here we go. 2 points, straight off the bat. Twitter mods never do their job. I'm not even sure they exist, to be honest. You can report the most vile, horrific thing on Twitter, and I guarantee it will still be up months later. There's literally been cases in the past where someone has been, for example, sexually assaulted, and a video of that has been posted on Twitter. They've then reported it, and the video has remained up, getting millions of views. That's not just an example that I've made up, that's a genuine example that has happened in the past. So yeah, Twitter mods are non-existent, they're terrible. 2 points. As for the reporting tools, I'll just report a random post of the same friend. I'm bullying him today. So when we click on his post, you can see that the report post option is quite obvious, but then if we click on it, we get a bunch of options to choose from. So let's do one of the ones I said, private or non-consensual content. Threatening to share or sharing private personal information. Okay, they have a bunch of options, so threatening to share or sharing a video that you haven't chose, that belongs to me. Next. Okay. Oh my god. Oh, I'm a bad friend. Okay, I forgot that there's not an option to submit. So you just automatically, I just reported my friend for sharing non-consensual content. Okay. So yeah, but as you can see, at no point there did I ever have the option to submit additional information to explain what was going on. So with that taken into consideration, I would say that the tools are available, but limited. Well, if he gets suspended, he's gonna hate me. NSFW content and Twitter, they go hand in hand. They have since the dawn of time. If I search up a random search term, okay, like let's just do Gunner again, okay? Yeah, there's a bunch, literally the first post, and all of these are tagged with nudity, all of these are like NSFW content. And again, there's an easy rabbit hole to fall down because there's a bunch of like tags that we can click on, and that'll take you down even more posts. And even that, we don't even need to look at the tags. All we need to do is go into the replies, go into this random person, go into their following, and boom. There's so many NSFW accounts, literally right at our fingertips. And once you start viewing them, they then get pushed to your For You page. So yeah, 2 points is only right for NSFW content. As for disappearing messages, now this is actually a new thing on Twitter, so I'm going to turn them on with my friend, for example, and you see, I go in, and they're literally the first option. We have options, we can turn it on, disappear after 5 minutes, after an hour, 8 hours, a day, for example. So they are optional, so a point. Age verification. Now, I said I wasn't going to specifically touch on countries that had age verification. in my country, I can't view NSFW content on Twitter because I need to verify my account, right? But that isn't the case for anyone in literally any other place without it. Yes, you can now tag your content as like including nudity, but all they need to do is click show and you can see it. So with that in mind, I would say that there is a basic age gate in the sense that if you've set your date of birth as under 18, it won't let you view that stuff either, but it's still not really there, but I'll give it a point for a basic age gate. Location sharing. Now, as far as I'm aware, that isn't a thing on Twitter. Yeah, I can't find anything like that. You can technically put it in your, like, bio, but you can't share your live location, so I'm gonna give it 0. And parental options. Now let's have a little look. Again, you can like choose to protect your posts, you can choose to mark the media you post as containing sensitive material, you can also change the content you see and obviously mute and block users. As far as I can see though, there doesn't seem to actually be like a parental hub like other apps have had. So with that, I would say they're existent, but if we're specifically focusing on parental options, there's not lots of options. So I would say 1 point because there are some available. Now, I am going to up the score because I have done multiple investigations on Twitter. I'm doing another very soon, and I can guarantee that this deserves to be in the extreme risk category. So it did come to 12 points, but I'm taking it up to 16. We're giving it +2 for CSAM being very, very apparent on the platform. +1 for non-consensual content being shared as with the IRL's rabbit hole that I covered. And +1 for all the disgusting propaganda that is spread on there, such as like literal sympathy for a certain man with a very small mustache from the 1940s and 30s. So that takes us to a 16 out of a possible 20, which does place it in the extreme risk category. And I think that's accurate. I really don't think you can argue that it deserves to be anything less. To be honest, I could probably give it even more because Twitter is just getting worse and worse by the day. WhatsApp is one of the most widely used messaging apps in the world. For many, including myself, it's simply a replacement for traditional text messages, but private messaging offers new challenges when it comes to safety, so let's put it to the test. So we're gonna go a bit away from social media platforms and go back to the actual title of this video, chat apps. But then again, I would consider a lot of social media apps chat apps, hence why they are included in this vid. We're going to be looking at an app that I again use, and it's WhatsApp. So as for stranger contacting, I'm gonna have to give it at least a point because although it isn't like and like you can't just reach out to anyone and everyone, you could technically just type in a random phone number, and I get so many spam messages on WhatsApp that I kind of have to. As for anonymous accounts, you can't create one without having your phone number, which then links you to all your contacts and gives you, you know, a profile picture and stuff. So I would give it 0 because your identity is tied to your account. Random matching, there's none, so I'd give it a 0. The moderation of WhatsApp is an interesting one because it pushes itself as being an encrypted platform. Now, WhatsApp have admitted to taking action against tens of millions of accounts every year. And in fact, last year, they deleted 6.8 million accounts in one go that were linked to scams and other terrible stuff. So I would say that the mods are actually quite proactive. I would give them 0. As for reporting tools, I've gotten a message up here. I've just reported a random message of my friends. Not the same friend, don't worry, I'm bullying a different one this time. And you can see I have the option to report to WhatsApp. This message will be sent to WhatsApp. This person won't know you blocked or reported them. If you report and block, the person won't be able to message or call you. And yeah, I have the option to report here, but there aren't other options. I'm not actually going to report him in case WhatsApp actually do block him. Okay, you know what? He's not going to be mad if I do. Okay, yeah, so I just reported him, and as you can see, I got a pop-up saying thank you for reporting, and that's literally it. So I wouldn't consider the tools to be very easy to use or a lot are available because they aren't. There's literally 2 buttons and they both do the same thing. So with that in mind, I'll give it a point because they are there, but there's not a lot of option. NSFW content is an interesting one because I have no doubt that these groups do exist, but they are definitely kept private because, you know, I doubt many people have their NSFW activity on WhatsApp. So I would give them no points because I would probably comfortably say that it is very limited. Disappearing messages. Now let's have a little look. Now you can delete a message, and you have the option to delete for everyone or just you. So the fact that you can delete for everyone means that this is getting at least a point, because I do consider that disappearing messages on a technicality. If we go into actual settings and privacy, we can actually set up default message timers for messages to actually be properly disappearing. And I would actually consider that a major feature, because a lot of people use WhatsApp for that. So I would give this 2 points, because disappearing messages does exist and a lot of people use it. Age verification, it doesn't really have any, you know, I've never verified my age, never got asked to, so I'm giving it 2. Location sharing is another thing. You can share your location, and actually there is a setting to share your live location. So if we go into one of my chats, I'll just do the same friend, we can click here, location, and there we go, I can send my location and keep sharing my live location. So with that considered, I would give it 2 points, because it's easy to reveal. As for parental options, there are options to choose who can see your profile picture, who can see your about, for example. There is also the options to lock your chats, and as you can see, they've even got a little privacy checkup where you can control your personal info, choose who can contact you, add more protection, add more privacy. But again, there's not really a direct parental controls option, but since this isn't a social media, I would argue that it doesn't actually need it, especially because this requires your phone number, and realistically, kids are probably going to use this to chat to their parents or their school friends. So I would consider this to have some tools available. I can't in good conscience give it 0 points because there aren't any parental controls, but I'll give it 1. So that gives WhatsApp a total of 9 out of 20, which actually makes it the safest of the video so far. Now, right enough, that still does place it on the moderate risk chart, but yeah, I would generally consider WhatsApp to be quite a safe app, depending on how you look at it, because there are a lot of scammers, there are a lot of people like that. Session is a messaging app built around privacy, very similar to Telegram. Unlike mainstream platforms, it heavily focuses on anonymity and reducing the amount of personal information that users have to provide. So, is Session simply a safer alternative, or does it create new risks that other platforms don't have to worry about? Okay, so Session is another one I got to go on and actually download. Here we go, Session private messenger. Okay, so I have to create an account, so I'm gonna run you through this process just so you can see. So create account, I'll just pick my display name as Jessicur. Oh, that just autocorrect. You know what, let's put Jess. Continue. We can choose fast mode or slow mode for notifications. Just do fast mode. I'm not allowing it to send me notice. Okay, account created. That's how easy it was to make an account. No details about me whatsoever. So let's try and start a chat. Okay, so we have a QR code that people can scan to message us. We can create a group, join a community, or we can send a new message, and all we need is either their QR code or their account ID. How do you access account ID? Okay, so that long number is my account ID. So I would say that with that in mind, it is kind of opt-in, I guess. You can technically keep it to just your friends. So I would probably give it 1 for stranger contact, because it's like, right now looking, there's not really an option for me to contact just anyone I want. Anonymous accounts, I mean, come on, it has to get 2 points. Did you see how easy that was to make an account? For random matching, again, I wouldn't consider there to be any, so that's 0. Looking at their moderation. Now, if there's any app that I'm pretty confident moderation doesn't exist on, it's this. I literally have no one to message, so I can't really test it. Okay, we're gonna Google if Session has reporting features. Okay, Session, from their official website, Session does not have a user reporting feature. You can only block users. Session is a private messaging app that protects your metadata, encrypts your communications, and makes sure your messaging activities are private. Okay. Yeah, that kind of says it all, doesn't it? So, yeah, I mean, the moderation is weak. It's non-existent. It's literally non-existent. 2 points. There are no reporting tools, so that's 2 points as well. For NSFW content, they said there that they literally don't, like, they keep your shit private basically. So this is very obvious. We all know, if you've watched any like predator investigation video, predators use session a lot. And again, you can easily find them for like these gunner rabbit holes. All you need to do is go back to my video where I looked into the IRL's rabbit hole, and people were just sharing their session IDs so often. It was so easy. So with that being said, considering it's widespread on Twitter, like getting people to contact you on session, I'd give session 2 points. Because although you can't find it natively, it's certainly not hidden. As for disappearing messages, I can't really tell you, so we're gonna have to Google it again. Does session have disappearing messages? Okay, they've got an article on the website saying, how do I enable disappearing messages in my device? So yes, they do have disappearing messages, and it seems it's a major feature. Quickly, I want to see how easy it is to delete your account. Okay, so there's a button, clear data, at the bottom. We can either clear device only or clear device and network. So I'm not gonna do it now, but like if I click that, I assume it would wipe everything. So with that in mind, I'd say that disappearing messages are a major feature on session. 2 points. Age verification. Again, you saw how easy it was for me to make an account there. There's none. Location sharing. Now let's see if that's a thing. Can you share your location on session? Okay, you actually can't share your live location. So surprisingly, this gets 0 points. And finally, parental options. So let's have a little look. There are privacy settings where you can change, like, okay, you really can't change a lot. You can only change if you get message requests from community conversations. Okay, there's no parental controls. Okay, so that takes us up to a total of 15, but again, I'm giving it some +1s. So we're giving it +2 because there's proof that CSAM people use session for it, and there's also a +1 for other illegal activity because, again, it can be quite a big app for other illegal activity such as, you know, just a bunch of illegal stuff. I was trying to think of an example, but yeah, you get the gist. So that brings us up to a total of 18 points, making it the joint most dangerous app of the video. And I would say that's pretty much accurate. So that places it on the extreme risk category. And again, yeah, you can't complain. Unlike most apps on this list, OmeTV has one main purpose: connecting you with strangers for random video chats. Random chat platforms like Omegle have always been controversial, and one of the reasons that platform actually shut down was because it simply couldn't deal with the bad actors using their site. So can this replacement actually protect its users? Let's find out. Okay, so OmeTV, this is the first time I've actually had to go to a website. So here we go, it's loading right now. I actually don't know if you'll be able to access this with a VPN. Okay, so we can continue with Google, Facebook, or VKID. So already there is more strength there because it will directly link things to you. So let's continue with Google, for example. Actually, I don't really know if I want to give my my Google to this. Okay, I'm gonna put my business email connected to this. Okay, never mind. I'll just use my journalism email, which I never use. It's basically just dead at this point. So the last thing I want them to do is spam. Okay, so they'll be able to see your gender and see and download your exact date of birth. Okay, that's interesting. So I'll let them access that. Okay, we're gonna select my actual country for this. Okay, so hi, it's me. As you can see, it's actually a quite nice interface, actually. I don't actually know how this works. Believe it or not, I've never used OmeTV. Stranger contact, I feel like you have to give it anyone can contact anyone because they can. I mean, let's watch this. There we go. I easily contacted anyone. Anonymous accounts, I'm actually going to give this 0 because your identity is technically tied to your Google account, unless you make a throwaway, which you could, but I'm still going to give it 0. Random matching, I mean, come on, it's a feature. That's the first time, actually, that we're giving random matching more than 0, because we've not had an app like this. So yeah, we're giving it 2 because it's a core feature of OmeTV. As for moderation, let's have a look at what some of the features are like. So I'm going to cover my camera up because I don't want to speak to some of the people on here, not going to lie. Okay. So as you saw, we did have the option to report abuse, and it actually even saved a little like screenshot of what was happening on screen at the time. So yeah, I would say that that is kind of like the reporting tools are there. We're going to kind of rank both moderation and reporting tools in one here. So I would say they're available, but they're certainly limited because it didn't really give me the option to say much there. So that's a point. As for moderation itself, let me see if there's any ban stats. Okay, there's actually a thread about how apparently OmeTV are banning accounts more easily. So with that in mind, I'm going to give it mixed effectiveness because I can't technically prove that. So it gets a point. As for NSFW content, look, I'll do a Google search to check, but on any of these like Amigo type apps, you're always going to have people flashing. Okay, we're on the subreddit NoFap Christians, and this guy says, OmeTV/Amigo/porn addiction. I go on OmeTV and other apps to find girls who'll jack it with me, and I waste so much time on there. Yeah, I mean, it's obvious that this happens on here, so I feel like it's only right to give it out of 2 points because it is easy to find because you could literally just be scrolling and you would easily find them. Disappearing messages. I mean, the messages technically wipe after a chat, so I guess we got to give it 2 points because it is enabled by default. But again, I'm sure that like the moderation actually does save the messages, but still 2 points. As for age verification, there's none. There's literally none. I didn't need to verify my age to get on there. It took my date of birth, but I didn't need to give it anything else. So 2 points. Location sharing, it does share what country you're in, but you can obviously select it. So, I mean, take your pick. Take your pick on if you think that that's good or not. I feel like we gotta give it a 2 though because it is easy to reveal. It's right there. And parental options. Let's have a little look at the settings. Okay, there's none. There's literally none. Okay, yeah, 2 points. So that gives us 16 points out of 20, which I think is a fair assessment. That puts OmeTV in the extreme risk category. And yeah, I would agree, like OmeTV, there's definitely bad actors on there just from stories I've heard. If it's anything like Amigo was back in the day, which was horrific before it got shut down, then yeah, it's always going to happen on these random chat platforms where you can make throwaway accounts, where you can kind of just like hide your identity very easily. And although the reporting features, I don't think they're effective enough. Character.AI is a new one because it's a completely different type of online interaction. Instead of talking to strangers, users communicate with AI characters created by the community. At first glance, this removes many of the risks associated with human-to-human connection, but as AI becomes more and more realistic, and there are ones out there with little to no limits, where does it rank on a risk scale? The final app we're going to be looking at today is Character.AI. Okay, so Character.AI does require you to make an account, so again, we're just going to continue with Google. You can just continue with email though, so like you could be anonymous. I'll give it my journalism email again. Okay, so you have to put in your birthday. For the sake of this, I'm gonna put my actual day and month, but I'm gonna say that I was born in 2011. For reference, YouTube, I'm born in 2004. I am 21 years of age. Okay, it's actually been very dodgy now. Is that because of the age? You know what? Fuck the website. Let's actually download the app. Now it says that the age rating is 18 plus, so let's see if they actually enforce that. And of course, let's be real, no kid's gonna put their actual age either, so we will test 18 after as well. But for the sake of this, let's continue with Google again. Or not, the app just crashed. Okay, there we go. Okay, select that account, continue. It's being very dodgy. I don't know if that's just like it for me today. It's down. Okay, we can select our birthday again. Okay, so what's the... Okay, I can literally just make myself like 0 years old. Okay, we'll do 14. Right, October 21st, 2011. Again, not my actual birthday. Okay, we couldn't create an account for you. We were not able to sign you up for Character. Okay. So that's good. I actually would kick you out if you said you were under 18. But now... Oh, okay. Okay, so if I try to continue now, it will say unable to proceed. That's very, very interesting. I didn't expect that. Now let's uninstall the app and reinstall it and see if it still holds up. Okay, I'm re-downloading Character.AI. Okay, ask app not to track, continue with Google. Yeah, okay. All you need to do is uninstall the app and you're able to sign back up again. So let's use just, again, I'll use my business email for this. It has signed me in. Now let me put my actual date of birth this time. So I'll put my actual birthday this time, and we'll have a look at what it has to offer. Because again, Like, kids will just lie. When I was a kid, I never put my real age into anything because I knew I'd get knocked back. Okay, don't send me notice, please. Okay, what are my interests? You know, I am interested in fantasy, paranormal. I picked 3 or more, jeez. I like sci-fi and romance. Believe it or not, I've never used Character.AI. I've known people who have. Okay, I was gonna say I didn't know it was paid, but that's okay. It immediately offers a subscription to you. Okay, so first of all, no verification or anything like that. Oh, Jesus, okay. And right on the front page, literally one scroll, DDLG. There's a lot of Ghost from Call of Duty, man. I did not realize he was that popular. Okay, so let's start rating it against the chart. So, stranger contact. Okay, you can't get in touch with other people, but I'm actually going to say that this is hard because it's not really a chat app. It's more of a new type of chat app where you can contact AI. So with that in mind, I would give it 2 because you can contact any of these bots. And yes, I know they're not real, but that doesn't matter. And the whole point of the app is reaching out to new chatbots. So for the sake of that, again, I'll give it 2. So as for anonymous accounts, you saw there that I could have created an account with just a throwaway email, so I feel like it has to have 2 points again because you can't easily make anonymous. Random matching isn't really a feature here unless you can get randomly connected with the bots, which I don't think you can. I mean, technically on the For You page, but again, that's falling under the, like, recommendation stuff, so I'm gonna give it 0. Moderation. Now, let me find just a random one and see, like, if they get banned. Let me do some research. Okay, so according to a website called Game Quitters, Character.AI does have real people as mods, but they can apparently only monitor what's being said in public chats, not direct messages between users. So I would consider that the moderation has mixed effectiveness in that case, because technically they can do something, but not really. As for the reporting tools, let's have a look. So say I just wanted to report this random one of Harry Styles. Report character. Okay, so I can report it for general spam, abuse, harassment, harm, violence. I'll select harm. It gives you more options. Can you type at the end? You can. Okay. I would say that those reporting tools are quite easy to use. You know, I wasn't confused at any point. I feel like anyone could understand them. So yeah, I'll give it 0. NSFW content. Now, the fact that one of the first bots that showed up for me was a DDLG one's already given it a point, but let's have a little deeper look. I'm gonna again search up Gunner, that keyword. Okay, here we go. We've got pervert Gunner boyfriend that admires you. Let's click on that. Raniel is in his early 20s, smells like ass, rots in his gaming chair, and overuses his computer to go on Discord and play video games. You are his girlfriend. To his eyes, you're an absolute goddess. The creep would do anything for you. Although him looking like a homeless dude, he's absolutely rich, confusing until you realise it's his parents' money. You walk in his room, which the doorknob being very sweaty and sticky, and as you walk on the dirty and very warm rug, you find him blushing over his PC screen and watching anime, like he always does. As he heard some noise, he turned to his left to find his partner. You, your pervert boyfriend, stood up and hugged you, greeting you really weirdly, his sweaty hands in your waist and his mouth near your neck. That's already disturbed me. Let's message it back. Hi, pervert boyfriend. How are you feeling? Raniel's entire greasy face lights up like a Christmas tree. Baby, you're here? He screeches in that weird high-pitched voice he gets when excited before suddenly burying his face into your shoulder like an overgrown puppy. I was so lonely, he whines dramatically while clinging to you. Watching anime alone is depressing without my beautiful girlfriend here. Also, I spent all my allowance mommy gave me buying you stuff. Where did I put them? Okay. Interesting. Now I'm gonna ask it, do you wanna fuck? Do you wanna fuck? Raniel's entire body freezes like a glitching NPC. His face turns nuclear red. His greasy bangs flopping towards you as he processes your words. You wanna fuck? He squeaks, voice cracking 3 times in one sentence. His shaky hands immediately starts fumbling with your clothes like an overexcited golden retriever. In his panic, he accidentally knocks over 3 empty energy drink cans and steps in them barefoot, but doesn't even notice because holy shit, you said the F word about fucking. Babe, I love you so much, oh my god! He's basically vibrating at this point while trying and failing to kiss you passionately through all his nervous sweat. Holy fuck. Okay, that's 2 points. Sorry, that messed with my brain so much I forgot how the point system works. That's definitely 2. Holy that shocked me a bit. I didn't expect it to be that easy. Does that kind of makes me want to take down the moderation to weak, because like I feel like without age verification I shouldn't have been able to do that. Yeah, you know what? I'm going up and I'm bumping moderation up to 2 points because it's weak. It's weak. I can just sex to that bot to my heart's content. That's my night sorted. Disappearing messages. Okay, let's have a little look. So we're going to go back to that one and see if I can erase the chats. Okay, so you can actually report a message that they say. You can report it as abuse harassment, NSFW. And you can describe the issue in further detail. Okay, interesting. So there is actually tools in private DMs, which, very, very interesting. Yeah, no points for reporting tools still. As for disappearing messages, we can remove messages. Yeah, remove message, and I assume that's just gonna like totally remove it. Yeah, okay. We can literally just delete messages. Can I delete my messages as well? Yeah, of course. So yeah, easy to remove messages. It is clearly optional, so I'm gonna give it a point. As for age verification, we have to type it in at the start, so that's a point for basic age gate, but that's it. Like, I've never been asked to give my ID or anything, so it's a point. Location sharing. I don't think I can actually share my location with this bot, can I? Let me see. No, I don't think I can. Okay, I definitely can't. So 0, you can't share your location. And parental options. Now this is interesting because clearly minors aren't meant to use this app. So we're gonna more judge it on like privacy options. You can mute words. You can, oh, that's safety center. Here we go. Okay, so you have a safety center. It just gives you topics really about moderation, teen safety. It doesn't really give you much to go on. Parental insights. Enter your parents' email to share your AI journey. Okay, so what? You're not meant to sign up to this, but if you're young, but you can put your parents' email in. That's kind of a, like, that's an oxymoron. And apart from the parental insights, there's not really anything. I mean, legal and privacy. No, you literally can just export your data. Okay, there's very few options here. I would have to give it 2 points because, like I say, there's not a lot of options and there's basically no parental controls. So that places Character.AI just above middle of the road, 12 points out of a possible 20. Now that's very, very interesting because, you know, AI chat apps, chat bots are getting more and more popular by the day. So I would definitely say that it's fair for this app to be considered high risk, especially because although there is a basic age gate, it's very clearly easy to bypass. You know, I literally made an account, claimed I was 13 or 14 years old. Then all I had to do to make another was uninstall the app, reinstall it, and I could just put in any age I wanted. So yeah, 12 points out of 20, that places Character.AI on high risk. After putting all of these apps through the exact same test, the results were honestly quite interesting. Some of the apps you'd expect to be dangerous scored highly, like Telegram, X, and OmeTV, and it was usually because of the same recurring problems: limited accountability, weak moderation, and features that can allow people to hide. But what may surprise you is that some of the biggest risks don't come from apps that are considered the dark corners of the internet. They came from the apps that we all use every single day. Discord, Snapchat, and Instagram are all examples of platforms that have legitimate users, but the problem is that the same features we use to connect with our friends can make the platforms appealing for people with harmful intentions. Private messages, anonymous accounts, the ability to connect with strangers. None of these things are automatically bad, but when you combine them together, they create an environment where harmful behavior can go unchecked. And the biggest takeaway from this video isn't that apps like Telegram are the worst of all time. It's that no app is truly safe. A platform can have millions of good users and still have serious safety problems. A platform can have strong privacy features and still be abused. The internet has changed massively since the early days, and the biggest risk isn't just that people may stumble upon bad websites anymore. It's that people who are looking to exploit can now easily have access to a range of tools right on their mobile phone. So rather than asking, is this app safe, safe when you download a new one. Maybe the better question is, what does this app allow strangers to do? Because sometimes the most dangerous places on the internet are not hidden on the dark web. They're the places right under our noses. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. If you did enjoy or you learned something new, don't forget to like, subscribe, hype the video and share it. All of those things really helps the channel. If you're listening on Spotify, you can rate the podcast 5 stars and follow the show. All of my social links are in the description and on screen right now, and thank you so much to everyone supporting the channel through memberships here on YouTube, Jessicur Plus, or on Patreon. You mean the world to me. You can support me here on YouTube or over on jessicur.com and get access to exclusive content, early access, and have your name included at the end of all of my videos. There are plenty of options, so if you do want to support me that way, then make sure you check it out. I'll be back very soon, but if you want another right now, then I think that you'll like the video that's on your screen.